Hey, good morning, guys. So I've gotten some requests for readings about what's going on with the karmic. I can say that at the moment, we had a big storm come through last night. And it was great, by the way. You know what I mean? But really, really heavy rain. So I do feel like, again, this is Scorpio season. There's been a lot of purging. I think that there has been a lot of stuff going on with the karmics, but I don't know that, you know what I mean? I think a lot of it has been kept at a private level. But at any rate, I thought we would do a pick a card reading for what's going on between your person and the karmic. And again, in these readings, whether or not you are in a defined relationship with your person, I don't really care. That's when I'm talking about the karmic, that may be someone that they're in a relationship with, and it's not just a romantic relationship, though it often is. This could be dynamics with like a karmic parent or an employer, all that kind of stuff. But at any rate, yeah, so go ahead and take a second. We've got the Tarot in Wonderland with Rose Quartz. There is the Rider-Waite Coleman-Smith Tarot with Flourite. And then it's my Russian tarot deck with Obsidian. So just take a second, and I will put timestamps in the description box for all these piles as well. Okay, so let's go ahead and start with pile 1. What I'm going to do, by the way, is I'm going to pull out just kind of some situation cards, for what's generally going on, and then we'll pull out some more information with the actual deck. I did put reversals in these decks for these particular readings. I don't normally put reversals in, but if things come out in reverse, I do read them that way. But I just felt like we probably need that added nuance here in these situations. Okay, so what's going on between pile 1's person and the karmic? 4 of Swords, clarified by the Ace of Wands. Ooh. The Empress in reverse. Seven of Pentacles in reverse. Two of Swords. Ooh. Okay. Ace of Pentacles in reverse. Okay, so it looks like what we've got here is, it looks like your person should have been in a space of healing. They had some healing to do, right? But instead of sitting by themselves in that space of healing and doing it, they wanted to start, they wanted to have a passionate new start with this karmic person. Then it shows the Empress in reverse, clarified by the Seven of Pentacles in reverse. So, to me, it looks like this karmic person that they're dealing with, they probably did give the impression or put on a mask of that Empress energy, like being super kind, nurturing, sweet, saccharine sweet. But this distorted Empress energy is about just being, uncontrolled in terms of your emotions, like very reactive, very clingy, very insecure. It's the opposite of the Empress energy. And Seven of Pentacles in reverse, clarifying that Seven of Pentacles is about wanting to kind of plant seeds and waiting for those seeds to come to fruition. So, with this energy, I'm seeing that there's a reversal in that energy, in that it looks like your person is not particularly wanting to, they've seen this, they've seen, kind of who this person really is, rather than who they've been pretending to be. And so they're not wanting to build on that at the moment. But then it shows the Two of Swords, which is about a stuck energy, and the Ace of Pentacles in reverse. So this person's at a crossroads with the karmic, and the Ace of Pentacles in reverse is about not wanting to have a new start, right? So, you know, at the beginning of this, they wanted a passionate new start. Now this person realizes that there's no stability, you know, in this foundation for them. So let's go ahead and get some energies about what's going on your person's side, as well as the karmic. And I think I'm going to do your person over here and the karmic over here. Okay. So give us some energies on my readers, or my viewers' person. King of Wands in reverse. Now, I didn't put like a ton of of reversals in these decks. You know, I kind of just randomly went through and pulled over, you know, a couple cards. But they sure are coming out. Okay, so that's clarified by the Seven of Wands, Page of Pentacles, clarified by the Nine of Cups in reverse, Three of Pentacles, clarified by the Five of Cups in reverse. Let's get some energy on the karmic. Death in reverse. Clarified by the Two of Wands. Ten of Swords in reverse. Clarified by the Ace of Wands. The Emperor. Clarified by the High Priestess. Okay. So for your person over here, I'm seeing the King of Wands in reverse. So, you know, and that's clarified by the Seven of Wands. Seven of Wands is about feeling like you have to defend yourself from multiple attacks. And so your person is sort of constantly dealing with, you know, sort of accusations, from this karmic person. And they just feel like it's always something. It is always something with this person. You know, like no matter what they do, you know, this person will come in with like another little snipe, or picking at something, or saying like, you know, why did you like that photo? Why did you know what I mean? But just kind of like every time this person thinks they kind of get past an issue, there's another issue. And the King of Wands in reverse, you know, your person is having, King of Wands in reverse is like an energy that really has like emotional outbursts, like angry outbursts. So essentially this karmic is kind of like constantly picking fights. I mean, maybe not full on fights, but they're constantly like picking at aspects of this person. And it does send them into a really, you know, sort of unbalanced, unstable energy. The Page of Pentacles here, clarified by a Nine of Cups in reverse. I mean, I'm seeing that your person is trying to like smooth things over all the time, and maybe by giving them actual little gifts, or, you know, just, but they're constantly trying to make like these small efforts to this person. And I feel like it's to try and keep them, you know, this person is so emotionally unstable, this Empress in reverse energy. So this person is, you know, your person is constantly like trying to, like, they're hyper aware of, you know, that she's always going to be set off by something. And so the energy that they are putting into this relationship at this point, they already know that this is not their wish fulfillment. They already know it's not their wish fulfillment. they're basically just doing kind of like damage control at this point, trying to, any energy they put in, it's just to try and keep this person calm and not like freaking out. The Three of Pentacles, which is a card about building a new foundation, is clarified by the Five of Cups. And so that's a card about grief, you know, regret, but this card is in reverse. And I get the sense, the energy, that they're almost like that this Five of Cups is about you. That they essentially know that they chose wrong here, but they may have left it in such a way, or just the dynamics of it are as such that they feel like they can't come back towards you, that this is a loss with you. And so they are still building in this relationship. Again, they're putting energy and effort in, but nothing good is coming from it. All their energy that they expend with this person is to basically try and avoid drama, because this karmic person is complete drama. On the karmic side, we have the death in reverse, clarified by the Two of Wands. So this karmic has made a choice that this is not going to end. This is not going to end, right? They are sticking in it. But you know, we've got the Ten of Swords in reverse. And so there's a lot of betrayals in this situation. And we will look a little bit more into that, but I kind of feel like there's probably betrayals on both sides. Probably this, you know, your person is probably doing stuff, betraying them, maybe talking to other people, or still talking to you, or, you know, I don't know, but I think this is happening also on the karmic side, and what they're trying to do is just ignore that. And this karmic in particular, you know, that's clarified by the Ace of Wands. So anytime they kind of get caught out on doing shady stuff, they really come in with their sexuality, you know, to basically smooth that over, or get them to, you know, get off the subject of what they've done. And so they'll come in and use their sexuality and you know, smooth it over that way. That is how this person has any kind of control in this situation, is by using their sexuality in that respect. Then we have the Emperor, clarified by the High Priestess. And I feel like what this is I feel like the High Priestess is you, the viewer, you know, the third party in this situation. And basically she is cognizant, she is aware that this divine masculine energy is looking at you. So he may be, and let me pull another card for that. The Hierophant. Yeah. Right. So she is aware that he does watch you, that you have his attention, whether or not you guys are in contact. She's really aware of that. Basically, her plan here, she wants to have some sort of formal level of a commitment, like marrying them or getting pregnant, or, you know, something like that. So that she doesn't end up out in the cold. That's this karmic's focus right now, is trying to work towards getting a higher level of commitment. But, you know, let's just kind of see what's going to happen in the near future in this connection. Knight of Swords, clarified by the Lovers. Oops. Seven of Swords, clarified by the Page of Wands. King of Pentacles, clarified by the King of Cups. Okay, so the Knight of Swords is about hasty action, and the Lovers is about the lovers. But, you know, again, the Lovers in tarot is more of a choice about, you know, a choice between a divine choice and a physical 3D choice. And so, you know, I'm kind of reading this as honestly, I think at the moment that this, I mean, they're still in that 3D and physical choice. But their energy is very sort of chaotic and hurried in all of all of these interactions. Then the Seven of Swords, which is a card specifically about deception, stealing, betrayal, and that's clarified by the Page of Wands, which is like it can be kind of like a physical, an offer of action, an offer of kind of a small passion, so what I'm seeing, honestly, what I'm seeing in this situation, I think, because this betrayal card did come out. Let me get a little bit more on that. Four of Pentacles is holding on. Six of Pentacles. Yeah, they're okay. Yep. I think both parties are interacting elsewhere. That's what I think. I think both of these parties, even though this one is, a lot of times these karmic energies are just really very delusional. I mean, this one's angling towards marriage, but it looks like she's stepping out with other energies as well. This King of Cups and King of Pentacles came up, after, I mean, again, this is like small passion, small actions. But so it looks like she's in a minimum kind of building like these emotional relationships elsewhere. Whether or not those have transformed into physical connections. And I think that's why the Lovers is out as well, is that this karmic energy is kind of exploring, they're hedging their bets, right? They do, if they don't get a marriage offer from this person, they've got other angles that they're working on, because that's what this karmic wants. She wants to lock this energy down, but she's hedging her bets. So yeah. But again, anytime this comes up and this your person, kind of sees something or becomes aware that this person is kind of stepping out or doing some shady stuff, this person just comes in and sleeps with them. So, okay, right. We'll go ahead and get one card of guidance. I'm not going to, because, this is between your person and the karmic, but I'll get a guidance for you. Tides. Okay, so this card is about, sorry. There's two seals here, and then there's a woman that's like half seal, half woman. And they're swimming in the ocean, but they're almost sort of like passively swimming. They're just riding the waves. What this card is asking you to do in terms of guidance is to stay present with your emotions. Part of the point of the karmic, your person's karmic is also your karmic in a way. Because there are things, I know these karmic situations are really, really frustrating, especially when you have a lot of love and care for a person and you see them doing something that is hurting them, that's stupid. And so many of these karmic relationships are just so superficial and so I understand that frustration, but be aware that there is shadow work and growth and learning for you within that as well. And that's going to come down to being cognizant of the emotions that they pull up for you when you see this kind of stuff, and making sure that you're working through that as well as those feelings come up. A lot of feelings of competition, comparison, that kind of stuff comes up. And so make sure you do that shadow work and go into that. It's because that is going to be important for you. But also it's just a message about like, ride the waves on this, right? This is going to be ups and downs, and you can ride the waves without putting a lot of your energy into that. Do you see what I mean? So, let these feelings come, let these feelings go, but try and stay in a centered and balanced place as, these kind of things come into your view. Okay? All right. So thank you, pile one. I hope that helped your situation. Okay. I don't like stopping the video in between. So, you know, you guys can just watch me do this if you're still here. Okay. Hey, you guys, quit digging, please. There's 1,000 holes out there already. All right, pile 2, welcome. Okay, so I'm going to pull out some energies about the situation, just, you know, kind of the broad strokes using this deck, and then we will go into the energies for your person and the karmic. Okay, so this situation, the 8 of Wands and Ace of Wands. It's funny, in reading 1, or pile 1, Ace of Wands came out in the same position. These karmic relationships are always fundamentally about Ace of Wandsing. You know what I mean? It's like, all right. Okay, so 2 of Wands in reverse. 8 of Swords. Page of Cups in reverse. Knight of Wands. All right, so with this particular karmic situation, it looks like, you know, your person had rushed into this situation with this karmic person. I mean, and it was based purely on you know, kind of sex and passion. But, you know, as they're in it now, I didn't see energies of these people show up. But what I do see is that this person is in a space of indecision. They are feeling really mentally conflicted and trapped in this situation. And they can't decide how to move forward. But they are feeling trapped. They rushed in based on passion or feeling trapped. The Page of Cups is about an apology. But this is Page of Cups in reverse. So there's been a lack of apology in this situation, and that's clarified by the Knight of Wands. So, you know, your person in this situation, they are definitely, I mean, I'd say that they're unapologetically being a player. Let's put it that way. They do feel sort of trapped or burdened in this situation, okay? But they're sort of very emotionally disconnected from it. It's just about sex. That's what I would say. Okay, so let's get some energies from your person over on this side, and then we'll get some energies for the karmic here. Okay, 2 of Cups in reverse. 4 of Cups in reverse. Page of Swords in reverse. What's this? You know, I did put some reversals in this deck for these karmic readings, but like all of the, not that many, and all of the reversals are coming out. 9 of Cups. Oh, I did wonder. Magician in reverse. I did wonder with this 8 of Swords energy, I got the sense that there may be spell work in play. in this situation. And then the Magician in reverse is coming out as well. And the Page of Pentacles in reverse. Okay, the Nine of Wands in reverse. The Three of Pentacles in reverse. The Four of Swords in reverse. All of these are reversals, man. Queen of Wands in reverse. Wow. Queen of Pentacles in reverse. High Priestess in reverse. Oh my goodness. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, your person did enter this situation based, purely on lust. Okay. And I mentioned there's this like unapologetic player energy. This person really took advantage of their impulsiveness. Let's put it that way. But so in terms of your person's energies at the moment, Two of Cups here is in reverse. So that's about I almost get the sense that in this particular situation that there was actually a breakdown or separation with you. And this person was trying to avoid their disappointment over the loss of you. And so they wanted to distract themselves from that loss. They are seeing you as their twin flame in this. And it shows that that there was a disconnection from it. The Page of Swords in reverse, clarified by the Nine of Cups, this can be about spying the Page of Swords, but it can also be about messages or communications. And so I'm reading that more as this person cut off communication, or maybe you cut off communication with their wish fulfillment. So the Magician in reverse is not a great energy. I mean, that's essentially about manipulation, and it can be spell work. And the Page of Pentacles in reverse is essentially, like Page of Pentacles is in the upright is about, coming forward with a small gift, an offer, and so I feel like there is some spell work here to prevent this person from coming forward or towards you. Because again, there is a focus here in terms of this, with the Two of Cups coming out, but it's in reverse. I think there is a focus. This person is very cognizant. This karmic person is very cognizant of your connection. Let's put it that way. Over here on the karmic side, we have the Nine of Wands in reverse. And then the Three of Pentacles in reverse. Three of Pentacles is about building a foundation. So in reverse, it's about not building it. But that's in clarification of essentially like this person does, there are a lot of manipulations in terms of how this person interacts with them. I'm getting a real energy of this person does a lot of like gaslighting, manipulation. This person may be, kind of borderline personality or a narcissist. But they're, they will act, wounded or whatever. Whenever this person kind of does try to pin this person down at all in terms of their behaviors, they will distort and turn the situation around on them and basically become defensive and then, accuse the other person of doing things. This person doesn't have any real intention of building, a stable foundation. That like this person thrives in chaos. They thrive in chaos. You know, and then it shows the Four of Swords, which is a card about healing. And that's in reverse. And the Queen of Wands here in reverse is that this person specifically doesn't want them to heal with you. I think you are coming across as the Queen of Wands in this situation. That they're basically trying to block you out. They're trying to, you know, block any interaction or healing or connection between this person. Because I feel like this disconnected in such a way that it was kind of like an unfinished story. You know what I mean? Like, I just feel like there was a quick cutoff of communication at some point. And so there's still kind of like unfinished business here between you two. But this person is blocking that. Then I'm seeing the Queen of Pentacles, which I think is the Karmic's energy. So they may be an earth sign, you may be a fire sign, or it could be vice versa. But, you know, I'm seeing this Queen of Pentacles clarify in reverse. Right? And so that's a greedy energy. It's a gold digger energy, right? And that may be this person's overall intention. Okay, you guys, please. That may be this person's overall intention is to cling on to your person for money or whatever it may be. But again, there's definitely sexual manipulation here. I do think that there is spell work in this particular situation. But again, only take that if you already suspected that and this resonates for you, okay? Because I'm not trying to freak people out, but because that's also clarified by the High Priestess in reverse, which I see as I read that as sort of black magic, dark magic. Someone who is, again, you know, the Magician and the High Priestess came out in reverse in this reading. So I really do think that there is spell work. I do, and just as a reminder, I do have my my black magic protection bundles, and those are reflection spells. It's a kit, a bundle to kind of help you with any spell work situations. Now, part of the issue is I don't think you're in contact with this person. You can use it for your twin. You know, you can, there's a candle, you know, an enchanted candle in it, and you can burn that every night for your twin if you want. It works better if the person who is under spell work is using it directly. If you are in contact with your twin, you may want to ask if they're willing to accept something like that. And you know, you don't have to say like, hey, I saw this reading and I think your karmic is doing spell work on you, but say like, hey, you know, I'm concerned about your protection, just your energetic protection, and I'd like to send you a gift. And, you know, if you want to use it, it's up to you. If not, you know, you can make that offer. But I just don't with these spell work protection kits, I don't ever want that given to someone without their understanding and knowledge of what it is. Because I believe strongly in free will. Anyway, so what's going to happen in the near-term future in this connection? Okay. The Hierophant in reverse. The Sun in reverse. Wow. All these reversals. Wow. Okay. So what I'm seeing in this situation, Hierophant in reverse is there's not going to be any commitment in this situation. You know, and that's good, but the Sun in reverse is about, I mean, I read that card as like essentially depression. This person is I believe going to intensify the kind of work that they're doing. You know, because again, this is a gold digger energy. So, you know, marriage and commitment is always a big drive in that. And this person may be pretending. I do get the sense too that they're pretending that they don't care about like commitment and, you know, like whatever. Like they're just trying to be like really cool and casual about it, but they do. That's their end game here. But that's not going to happen. You know, again, I think to cope in this situation, because I do think that your person feels like the strong, intense, like sexual magnetic pull to this person, but they are trying to stay in like this player energy in terms of not engaging too far with them. But this person is definitely a major blockage to your connection. But there's 4 of Pentacles in reverse. So people, they're not going to be letting go. That's clarified by the 10 of Cups in reverse. Not letting go despite the fact that there's no love. There's no love here. There's no happiness here. I feel like this person, again, if they're under spell work, they are very likely to feel very confused. They can feel depressed. They can, sort of act out of character, be very reactive. It's not great, but they're still in it. They're still in it. And this 2 of Wands in reverse, again, we got that first out with these cards. That's about not making a decision. And then we, oh no, that was in pile 1. But, I've got grief and regret in reverse as well. I think, part of it, this person is not really connected to your person is not really connected to their emotions. They're not connected to, like, when they have loss, grief, stuff like that, they just shove it all down. And so they also don't want to make a decision in this situation, despite like what they actually really kind of know deep down, because they want to avoid that conflict. I'm seeing a lot of conflict avoidance, with your person, here. But yeah, I do think, again, only take this message if it resonates, and if you were already suspecting that there was spell work involved. But again, I do have those kits available and in stock now on my Etsy page, and so I'll post that link in here as well. Let's go ahead and get a guidance card though for you, my viewer, for this situation. Okay, let's get that real quick. Journey. Yeah, so I may have mentioned this at the, I talk so much sometimes I can't remember what I say. Plus I'm channeling a lot too. You're on a spiritual journey here. These karmics, in many ways, they're just as much our karmic as they are your person's karmic. We do, they raise shadow work for us as well, often very much centered around issues or shadow work that we have to do with competition, comparison, kind of wanting to win, that kind of like energy. So, what the universe is asking you in this situation is to be cognizant that you are on a spiritual journey here. You're on a spiritual journey, and this is part of it. Spell work, by the way, is not, like binding people with doing binding spells, love spells, stuff like that. In my opinion, that is not part of the journey, but I see it happen a lot. A lot of, SRT practitioners, like spirit release therapists, Reiki workers and stuff like that, they encounter, and in particular in twin flame journeys, that spell work, often being done by a karmic or even divine feminines on a masculine. It's very, very common. And again, a lot of people unwittingly kind of do so, like they may look for a spell online and then they just kind of do it and they forget about it. Well, and then they've done that work, and then those energies are still playing. So anyway, my point is that you're on a journey, and so try and look at this situation in that context. When you feel triggered by looking at these interactions that you probably see like online or in social media between your person and the karmic, allow those feelings to arise. Because what we saw in this reading is that these people are doing everything that they can to avoid healing. And so that's not what you want, right? Because you'll progress further and faster along your journey as long as you're actively doing that work as those triggers, basically come up. And there's no shame in being messy. I feel like triggers are good. honestly, you know, we've become such a hypersensitive, like we put trigger warnings everywhere because nobody wants to get triggered. Well, the thing is, that's part, you don't grow without getting triggered. But at the same time, you do want to be able to manage, you know, working through those triggers in a safe and comfortable environment, right? As safe and comfortable as possible. And so when those triggers come up, you know, if you see something at work, you know, feel free to put that out of your mind for now. But go home and let yourself kind of delve into the messy feelings that you have about that, what it dredges up in terms of, you know, those comparison and lack of self-worth issues and stuff like that. Have a good cry, man. You know what I mean? Let yourself be authentic about going through those emotions that you're feeling about this situation, but give yourself a safe space and time to do that. When I really need to process some stuff, sometimes, you know, like I'll draw a really nice, like hot bath for myself, and I go in there and, you know, whatever, and I'll have a really good cry, and it just feels great crying in a bath, you know? So anyway, give yourself this time and space to do that. You are on a journey that, like I said, this is in some ways your karmic as much as it's your person's karmic. Okay? All right. I hope that helped, pile 2. So let's move on to pile 3. Okay. Oops. Ace of Cups. Clarified by the sun. Oh, and welcome. Pile 3, by the way. I just kind of got in my space for a moment. Welcome, pile 3. You guys chose the Russian tarot deck with the Obsidian. And I'm pulling some cards, just kind of what the general situation is between your person and the karmic, what's going on there, so that you know whether or not this is kind of your situation. Okay, so, okay, right. Okay, so what I'm seeing with this situation between your person and the karmic is this person, your person did genuinely come in. Okay, sorry, you guys. You guys, go play further away, please. Okay, so your person did genuinely come in. You know, Ace of Cups is about new love, right? That's a, you know, that's, and I'm seeing that as a genuine thing. If that's clarified by the sun, this person saw this karmic as everything, right? You know, this person made them happy. They felt a lot of love and romance towards this person. But then, you know, it shows and they actually felt like this was a divine connection. You know what I mean? Like that this was meant to be. The 3 of Swords here. The 3 of Swords here. I'm just kind of seeing is, let me actually pull a clarifier on this, because I want to know if the third party, the heartbreak over third party, if that's third party with you or third party outside of the karmics, or third party for the karmic. Do you see what I mean? Page of Swords in reverse. 5 of Swords, the World. Okay. There was some spying that happened, and some deception that came to light. This was probably seen on the internet, maybe on social media. I'm not sure that I still have clarity in terms of, maybe we'll see it when we pull some of the other cards. But at any rate, so it looks like somebody saw something online. So I don't know whether that was between you and your person or between the karmic and a third party, but somebody saw something. But we've got here the 2 of Wands, which is about not making a decision. And we've got Death in reverse, which is about not having an ending. So basically they're kind of, even though this issue has come up, and again, we'll look more into that here. But they're, you know, it looks like the energy is nobody's making a decision and nobody's ending this. Okay, so let's get some energies on your person over here, and then we'll get energies for the karmic over here. I feel like a card turned over. What happened there? I'm not sure. Maybe it'll come out. Oh my goodness. Messy. Okay. It's the Four of Pentacles, Ace of Pentacles. The Fool. Oh. The Four of Wands. Okay. Two of Swords in reverse. Okay. Oh, bless your person. You know, a lot of times with the energies that come out in these karmic readings, and in particular, no offense to the masculines, but the masculines, I'm like, you idiot. You know, like, because a lot of times it's just based purely on physical or sex or like whatever. And I'm like, you idiot. But this, honestly, this masculine energy, he seems like a genuine, you know, like he was really, he's just wrong. He's just wrong. And again, this can be she, you know, I read it this way because it's easier for me to pick a masculine and a feminine energy. And that gives clarity, you know, when I'm talking about him or her, you know. Oh, these Queens of Wands. Okay. Okay. Yep. Okay. Oh, goodness. Goodness gracious. Okay, so on your person's side, I see the Four of Pentacles and the Ace of Pentacles, clarified by the Ace of Pentacles. Your person is holding on to this situation. They're trying, they really, I think this person thinks that the karmic is their twin flame. I think this is a false twin flame situation. The Fool is clarified by the Four of Wands, right? And so Four of Wands is my like twin flame union card. And so this person really took a leap of faith here, you know, towards the person they considered to be their twin flame. And then there's the Two of Swords in reverse, which is about a stalemate energy. Like I feel like in some ways this person, you know, this choice that they made, and I feel like it is between you and this karmic person, has led to this tower. I feel like that's both, honestly, a tower between you two, as well as a tower probably in their own lives. I mean, this kind of thing, when we go down the path with a false twin flame or karmic, it tends to create so much chaos, and, you know, kind of in people's lives, because these karmics tend to be just very, very low vibrational energies. And of course, you know, then they engage and act and surround themselves with this person a lot. So it's going to attract more of those energies, you know. Okay, so on the karmic side, we have the Three of Wands in reverse. The Three of Wands is kind of about having made a choice and waiting for your ships to come in. That's clarified by the Sun. So, so basically, this person kind of, I don't feel like this person thinks that your person is the one, but they do make them happy. They do make them happy. So they decided to kind of like, you know, even though maybe your person wasn't their first choice, somehow, like, your person does make them happy. And we did see that, right? We saw this Ace of Cups clarified by the Sun is, you know, coming into this at the start of this relationship. It was fully like a lot of romance and genuine like happiness, right? But then there's the Five of Wands, which is about a lot of conflict. And then there's the Six of Cups, and that's about equal give and take. And so, you know, I get the sense that your person was actually giving quite a lot. But I think, you know, and we did see some of this energy about stepping out. We did see something about someone cheating here. I think this person may have been giving elsewhere as well. And I think this person enjoys having people compete or fight over them. So that's why they will give to multiple situations, is because they sort of get off on making like your person jealous. This is just such a, it's a very genuine energy. It's a very sweet energy, honestly, this person. But so there's a lot of, yes, they did initially have, I get the sense of like, you know, kind of borderline personalities are often like, they're really good at, you know, borderline personality females in particular, they're really good at presenting, because they have no real identity. They just mimic identities of other people. And so, you know, often they'll pretend to be to the outside world this very sweet, just compassionate, generous, playful, carefree person. And they are anything but that, you know, at their core. But so they can easily, you know, kind of like make people fall in love with them, because they also have this, often this damsel in distress kind of energy, and men that have this need to save, you know, I mean, that's core kind of thing with a lot of men is that they want to save and protect people, right? But again, coming out of like, you know, some of those childhood wounding and trauma issues, that they may have been in a household with someone, you know, a parent that they constantly had to save or defend, or, you know, or whatever. Maybe it was a sibling, but they are kind of reliving that dynamic with this person. Because this person, you know, the Queen of Wands shows up here. This person's probably very physically attractive, but I do get that sense that this person has put on a big damsel in distress act. And that was part of how they kind of reeled this person in, and why it also brought your person so much kind of love and happiness and confidence at the beginning of this relationship, is because they're like, let me charge in and protect you and defend you from all of these, you know, these attacks and stuff like that. But he doesn't realize that actually this person is creating all of this conflict and drama behind the scenes. She's doing that by, you know, by these interactions that she's having with people. You know, the Three of Cups is about celebrating, but again, that can be, it can be a third party energy as well. And I think, you know, because I wanted to know where that energy was coming from, it is this karmic person. They are basically, I get the sense too that they have a lot of friends. Do you know what I mean? They said, oh no, don't worry about this person, they're just my friend. But then later they're, you know, they will always kind of slip stuff into the conversation about like stuff that they know is going to kind of trigger your person into going into that defensive mode and protecting. And that's a big part of how they manipulate and keep this person, is they're constantly triggering those kind of like core wounds that this person has, that, you know, makes them kind of ignore all of the shitty behavior that they do, or the fact that they're going and engaging with these people in an effort to manipulate and get attention from your person. You know, they kind of still somewhat always turn it around as like they're the victim. Okay, so let's get some energies on what's going to happen in the near future in this connection. Okay, so that's the King of Wands. And the Seven of Swords. The Two of Wands. Okay. Okay, in terms of what's going to happen in the future, I'm seeing the King of Wands here clarified by the Seven of Swords. The Seven of Swords is a card about, you know, deception, stealing, cheating. And considering this kind of third party stuff, dynamics, friends came out over here, you know, I feel like what it's saying is that, you know, at some point, I think that I wish that I kind of seen the Hangman. Oh, there's the Lovers. Okay. Yeah. So it does look like at some point your person is going to kind of like really, they're going to figure this out. They're going to figure this out, and they're going to see what this person is doing, how they're intentionally kind of pulling in these third-party energies to get a response out of them. And they're going to be cognizant of that. They are going to see that in the future, and they're going to get tired of that. And kind of what it shows is that initially this person, they're going to mentally make a decision to kind of check out of this relationship. They'll make that decision, but unfortunately, I think, you know, what I'm kind of seeing is that, you know, they're just going to check out. They're just going to stop making an effort, but they're not actually going to leave the relationship. They're just going to start daydreaming about you. You know, I think they'll have realized at some point that this was a false twin flame, but they're going to be stuck in an energy of grief and regret about how things ended with you, because they, you know, they're kind of looking at you. They're realizing that actually what you guys had was genuine. That was actually genuine love. What they pursued was not. It was an illusion. But, you know, they're going to be in their head about that because they're not sure if they can, now that they've made the wrong choice. Nobody wants to be second choice, right? Like, so they're, you know, they're kind of, they don't know how or if they can come back on that. And the Eight of Swords is again reflecting that. That's a very stuck energy. And this person, they do have some shadow work to do here, because this card is real victim mentality for me. These mice have bound up this cat and they're dragging him out to go kill him. But, you know, the cat's way bigger. Like, you know, how did he even get himself in that situation to get tied up by all these mice, right? Clearly he had been sitting around way too long in a situation with mice doing stuff to him, that like now he's all tied up. And I get the sense that like he feels like he's walked really far down this path, and he is in some victim mentality that he's not sure how he's going to get out of there. So I think for a while that he's going to kind of just be haunted by it, you know, having lost you, but be daydreaming about you, and basically being stuck in this victim mentality. And they're probably going to go into some distortions of just sacrificing themselves all the time in this. Probably dealing with a lot of depression too, if I'm honest. All right. So pile 3, let me get an advice kind of guidance card for you in this situation. This card came out for pile 2, Journey. Yeah, and so the guidance says that that you're on a spiritual journey. I'm just going to say exactly what I said about this in pile 2. You know, these karmics are often just as much our karmics as they are our person's karmics. There is shadow work for us to do here as well. I understand this really hurts. Honestly, I feel like this hurts more than, you know, than the karmics that go and rush towards, or sorry, when your person goes and rush towards the karmic based solely on physical attraction. You know what I mean? Like, we can kind of be disappointed in some man whore behavior. Not slut shaming, but I'm just saying, right? We can be disappointed with that, but it's worse. It does feel so much worse when this person goes and leaves us for someone that they really think that they're genuinely and truly in love with, and that, you know, that brings them so much happiness. And that can really bring up a lot of shadow work for us, because, you know, until you're kind of, the healing that you need to work on is basically knowing that that's not a reflection of you. People don't make these kind of choices and decisions because you're not enough, right? Sometimes people can't see our value. That doesn't mean that we don't have any, right? But I understand it still hurts. A lot of us have shadow work in this twin flame journey to do around competition and comparison. And I really recommend, that was something that I myself avoided for a long time as well, because I didn't, you know what I mean? Like, I didn't want to look at like I felt bad. Like, you feel bad, like you shouldn't be spying on like the karmic and stuff, but you do kind of want to know what's going on because you care about your person. And you know that this is going to be an ultimately damaging situation to your person. But yes, that's true. But because growth, it does require pain, right? And there's stuff that your person needs to work out in this situation. This is going to be pulling up a lot of their shadows, and hopefully they start doing that healing. They're not going to come out of this situation until you do the healing. The best way that you can help them is to do work on your own healing. So, as you watch any of the interactions with the karmics on social media and stuff like that, as those triggers come up for you, I really recommend that, if you're at work or you're, out at your kid's soccer game or whatever the case may be, that's not the time and place to, kind of to do that or go through and process those emotions. What I do, part of my self-care is if I really get triggered by something, I know that just means I have shadow work in that area. And what I'll do is like, I'll draw myself a nice hot bath, salt bath, like really kind of like give myself a space where I can just go comfortably be messy, where I can cry, where I can feel what I need to feel, where I can release that stuff, where I can think about like, why does this bother me so much? What does that connect to in terms of my childhood? All that stuff. So just remember, you are on a journey here as well. Try to embrace these things with karmics are super uncomfortable, and I get it. I completely empathize. But this is part of your journey too. That's what the universe is telling you. Okay. I hope that helped, pile 3. All right. Yeah. And please remember to like, comment, and subscribe if this resonated for you. Again, I am open for personal readings as well. Personal and specific to your situation. If you're interested in that, you can reach out to me either by email or just book straight through on my Etsy page. Both of those links are in the description box. Okay? Have a great weekend, everyone.